Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I know you're disappointed. I'm pretty sure about that. It always happens. Because this is not what you were expecting to jump on the scene after such a striking video, right? Maybe a tall, blonde guy with blue eyes. Unfortunately, the good-looking criteria was not included in the Frecce Tricolori recruitment process yet. After me, they had to include that. So right now, for ladies, Frecce Tricolori pilots are much better than me. So that's why I always have to bring this with me, because otherwise nobody will believe me, that it was me. And this is my helmet. When I was flying, that was my voice. And to tell you the truth, he is the real star, because you know what happens usually when I finish my speeches, it always happens as people comes to me and, Massimo, may I take a picture? And I go proudly like this, and he said, no, with the helmet. Okay, please. Okay, so here's for you. I will retire and I will leave there so you can take pictures with him. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a great honor. I'm so proud to be here. I am so happy and thankful because you give me this opportunity to share again my experience, because this is what my speech will be about today. You may study, you may prepare. I've been studying a lot, but today I want to speak about my experience, my real life stories. And because what I would like to tell you and leave you today is not a golden rule, is what I believe, what I've been learning in my life that can be, the advantage, how to create an environment, a soft environment, where you have a high performance team. A team that is capable then, to generate performance, to generate a very good decision-making process, then, of course, good corporate strategies, and why not, innovation. Okay, real-life story. So I will throw there, during my speech, some keywords that then I will highlight, and then I will wrap up and summarize at the very end. And at the very end, I will just say one word. That's the key word to me. And as long as you remember that final word, for me, it's enough. So you may sleep, you may do whatever you want, but please, pay attention at my very, very, very last word. Be prepared, because I have 3,000 slides. No, just kidding. Very, very few slides. Okay. Let's start with my story. You have been hearing something, but I want to make it again, because I won't go through it to show you what I learned to be relevant in my experience. I've been a fighter pilot. Then I have been chosen. I joined the Italian aerobatic team, which is the largest aerobatic team in the world. 10-ship formation, the only one flying with 10-ship formation. I've been wingman, then leader, formation leader, and then the commander of the team. The commander, he doesn't fly anymore. He's like a CEO. He has money. He leads and manages the full organization, from maintenance, admin, ops, everything. It is a completely autonomous squadron that has the mission to represent Italy around the world, to support, industries and diplomatic issues. And so it's so autonomous that sometimes I had to deal. I didn't even report to the top management of the armies. I was reporting directly to the government. And in a single specific case, I had to deal with Gaddafi in person, So that has been a huge experience for me. But what I learned from that, you need to understand that that is a team dealing with life every day. It's a 10-ship formation. 10-ship, these guys flies 2 meters apart. That's the distance between jets. And at the maximum altitude of 1,500 meters, the lowest altitude we train is 15 meters. So, I mean, you have to understand that it's a really peculiar activity, very, very dangerous. And the rule is that, of course, you need to have competencies. You need to have the best pilot, the best admin guy, the best technicians. But what comes out to be the most important asset and value, what makes the difference are values. The way we behave, corporate culture, the way we do things, the way we communicate, the way we'll challenge. And I want to highlight two words. The first one is respect. We need to respect each other, despite the fact that we may have different ideas. Diversity is a competitive advantage. Being surrounded by yes men will not give you any competitive advantage. Being surrounded by people that challenge you in a respectful way will be your competitive advantage. And that kind of team is about life. It is about life. So respect, it's a key word in our life. You know, you will realize that at the end of my speech, I will be saying just very, 4 or 5 simple, stupid things. The only problem is that we need to, not to forget this very important concept, because our life, our society, the way we run, and we go faster and faster, sometimes they do not allow us to behave in the right manner. So respect. Second word, magic word, is trust. You need to work on creating trust. You need to do it. It's not easy, but it's possible. It is possible. I can tell you because it's real life. It's not a book. But trust is a very important word. We sometimes misuse this word. Because first of all, we can't say, I don't trust this girl, I don't trust this colleague. And maybe we don't even know him very well. We just don't like the way he dressed. But please, trust is not about sharing the same hobbies or supporting the same soccer team. This is another thing. We may be friends, we may go out and eat the same kind of pizza, but this does not mean we trust each other. Maybe we have a person we trust a lot, we trust for life, and we don't even share that much free time because he likes going to theater, I like to go and watch movies. So trust is a very important word. And it's not about sharing hobbies, sharing, tastes. Most of all, this is very important for innovation. It's not about sharing the same idea every time. Please, if you have a friend that tells you that you are always right, ask yourself a question. If Massimo has problems with ladies, so I don't get a lady, so I'm complaining with some friend of mine, I can't get a lady, I'm alone. It's a lot easier for any of my friends to come and tell me, they do not understand nothing. You are the best. It's them. But the real friend should come and tell me in a respectful way, but in a frank, loyal, and direct way, Massimo, if you don't take a shower every day, ladies will not come. It may hurt you. I will be like, are you saying I stink? Yes, you do. But this is the real friend. This is the way we have to learn to, to challenge ourselves, to help ourselves. We need to do this, and it's not difficult. The key word here is respect. I may say the same thing in an unrespectful way, in a respectful way. With this approach, Massimo, please, my friend, I'm going to tell you something that maybe going to hurt you, but you need to wash. take a shower, and you will see that you will get ladies, because you are not bad. Okay? So this is the approach. With this, voice, we don't have to shout, we don't have to attack people. It's not worth it. We don't need that. Being aggressive, it's unuseful. I've been hearing lately about a trust formula. I was kind of skeptic about that, because how can you write a formula about trust? But when I read it, I realized that in the end, it's a very good way to summarize, what's behind building trust. Because trust, it's about a behavior, being humble, transparent, supporting the team, give yourself to the team. As a matter of fact, trust is directly connected, directly proportional to your altruism. The more you're selfish, the less you will be trusted. And people understand that. On the other side, it is, so be altruist. We need to think that we need to give us to the team. Then, of course, it's about competencies, Nobody would ever flown with me as a leader if they wouldn't consider me, a good leader, a formation leader, I'm talking about from the technical point of view, flying, piloting. Then, of course, it's about a nice word, that's intimacy. So the way this is something human, I feel a lot more comfortable with someone and less with others. And the last word is, again, values. The way we behave, the way we talk, the way we communicate, the way we, are correct, transparent with people. So trust, respect, these are huge words, but we need to learn this. We should teach these things in a team. We should teach this in a soccer team and in a company. We should teach this from school, in my opinion. Because I don't know, at least in Italy, this is a problem. You should teach, young kids that this is the way they should behave. Another very important point I want to make is that in that team, we have always considered every single person, every single role as fundamental to achieve the mission of the team. There's no, of course, I was the commander, but, the Frecce Tricolore commander would have ever been nobody without a great team. They were important in innovation. When we're talking about innovation, you will never know where the new good idea will come from. You don't know, because if we already knew that, we would just all together run there to get there first. But this is not possible. So every idea can come from every part of the team, and when you are there, you need to value people. You need to value these guys. Every single teammate you have is fundamental to achieve your goal. And in the team, this is about life. So then, I've been lucky again, because when I was done with the Frecce, Ferrari called me. So I joined Ferrari, and I started to work in the Formula One team. Then I moved to the HR department, where I've been responsible for the project, very nice project, very good, looking forward project. It was called Corporate Culture Project. Corporate culture is fundamental. We go back again to this word. It's the way we behave, the way we do things, the way we behave in our company, the way we talk, we communicate, and we've been working on that. We wrote again our values. Corporate strategy is part of the corporate culture is part of the strategy, and that's 3 pillars: vision, mission, and values. Values again. We have been working a lot on that, because it's very important to achieve great result. And then, after that, we were about to, get listed in the New York Stock Exchange. This has been very, very helpful for me in terms of how, fight against disruption, disruptive innovation. I've been asked to create from scratch, from zero. We didn't have nothing. The enterprise risk management function. I created the function, then I became the corporate risk manager of Ferrari till May, when I decided to leave because I get bored, I need to change sometimes. But the most important category of risks were what we were used to call those risks of the strategies. Those are the failure to evaluate that the assumption you have made to write down your strategic plan are still valid or not. So this means, for example, changes in demand. Guess what? New technologies. Guess what? New market entrants. Then, of course, slow down in the economy and whatever. And one of the most interesting jobs I've been doing during these years, very, very interesting, because it was about research, looking forward and see what a next scenario may be, was preparing what we call what-if scenarios. So I was going to go, the energy industry, the automotive industry, and whatever. So, of course, enterprise risk manager, corporate risk officer is not a decision taker, is supporting decision takers. So you support strategy. So you do not take a decision, but you support them. Hey, boss, sorry, why don't you take a look at this so you can take a better decision? Of course, you may not agree with him, he may not agree with you, but this is not the deal. But those exercises were, to me, something incredibly helpful, because they show me and they demonstrated again that you will be able to manage disruptive moment, disruptive innovation, disruptive technologies, only if you have been able to create that kind of soft environment. And you know better than me that disruptive innovation technologies has this word disruptive because they are disruptive. And you may not, you don't want not to be able to afford these guys, to face this moment. You need to be ready because they are fast. And I got, disruption is very, very dangerous, very dangerous. So just a couple of slides. So this is 1900. This is a disruption, and this is what I would call an approach to the mindset we need to have to be able to lead our team against disruption time. This is 900. This is the Easter Parade in New York, Fifth Avenue. Okay, how many cars can you find there? I'll tell you, one. One car, rest are horses. 1913, same exact day, how many horses can you count there? 0. And those were 13 years at the very beginning of 1900. Today, this would have been 1 year. This is disruption. And right in between, there were people that they were still thinking that car would have never been able to disrupt the horses business. But unfortunately, disruptive innovation and technologies are called like this because they have specific characteristics, specific. They create a completely new market. In the automotive industry, the economists wrote that the product paradigm changes. So the economists wrote that when you buy a Tesla, you don't buy a car. you buy an iPad with 4 wheels. So it's completely different approach. They significantly weaken, transform, or destroy. Business history is full of these cases, full. Very, very famous brands that died completely. We don't even remember the logo, but they were in those years, in their years, top of the world. One of these, yesterday I had a very, very nice lady come and pick me up at the airport. She was 25. She couldn't even remember this name. I remember this name, but I don't remember the logo. I think I've never seen it. But they were top. They were the top. So this is disruptive technologies. And this is another case. That was very close to me, of course. I'm very, very well prepared, but I'm not going through that. I'm not here to talk about, this. I'm here to talk about soft skills we need to generate in our team. We need to work on. The problem of this topic of disruptive technologies, unfortunately, this is why you need to really be careful and pay attention, is that it is usually the experts, the insiders of that business, they don't believe that. No, this is never going to happen. I am too good. Our product is top. Nobody will come and ever beat us, overtake us. This is not true. This is not true. And, I got for you some very, very nice, I love these quotes, these sentences, because they really show that they were completely wrong. The first two were generals in the US. They thought, of course, airplanes are not interesting. Actually, right now, they are the most important asset in war. So, we are at the takeaways. Been good? Very fast? The first thing I want to show you, and I want to, summarize it with you, is the mindset, the approach we have to remember. There will be about 10 words, 10 things, 10 very important things. First of all, remember the word corporate culture. Corporate culture, doesn't matter, you may call it in another way. The important thing is that you remember that you need to create a behavior. And the best way you can do it is being an example. You want your team to say good morning every day to everyone. So you, first of all, every day, that you come in and you say, good morning, guys. How are you? Then you really listen the answer. Also because those 3 minutes you're going to lose to listen the answer, they're not going to have any impact on your business. That's time management, okay? It's not those 3 minutes that will, jeopardize your result. This is an example. Then in a meeting, you want people to challenge and to be challenged? You accept challenge, you challenge, and you do it in a respectful way. Do not take anything for granted. If you are successful, be happy, of course, be proud, but be ready. Work, look for something new. Run devil's advocate session. This is a very nice exercise you can have in your team if you want to create this kind of approach. Sometimes it's very difficult when a team is not used to challenge the idea, the boss, you're not right today. In my opinion, today, you missed to analyze this thing. That's what I wanted. So you may try to take turn in this specific role. So you have 7 teammates. Now it's my turn. Today is your turn. Next day is your turn. So it's not going to be, that Massimo is always the one that, challenges everybody. You will discover that it's very useful, very, very useful for 2 main reasons. Why? First of all, number one, is because you will have someone trying, to challenge your idea. The second one is that that person will realize that being devil's advocate is very difficult. Being polemic is easy. Being devil's advocate is very difficult because you need to be prepared. You need to study. What's the topic of tomorrow's meeting? This one. Okay, so you need to study. You need to look for. You need to do researches in order to say, boss, I think we are going in the wrong direction. I think, electrical vehicle will be the future. But you need to, a boss doesn't want just this. He wants to hear, okay, why? Because of this, this, and this. So it's very, very, very helpful exercise you may do. Always ask yourself questions. This is very easy. And, of course, plan the best and prepare for the worst. This is the case, for example, of business continuity and enterprise risk management, those functions taking care of companies' risks that are, fundamental right now. To summarize this, consider that when I was, from one of my decisions could have led to a tragedy. So I wanted my, teammates to be able and confident and comfortable to raise their hands and tell me, Massimo, boss, you're good, you're nice, you're tall, you're blonde, you always get, maybe today you're missing something. Let me tell you that. Diversity is a competitive advantage. Different people may look at the same problem from different point of view, so they can find out, extrapolate all the elements that you as a boss needs to evaluate to take the best decision. This is advantage, because you will have many elements, a lot more than being surrounded by, yes, boss, you're right, yes, boss, you're right. That time, I was going out from a meeting without any single challenge. That was the day where I was worried about. That was the day where I was scared about my decision. And now let's go to these soft environment characteristics. Values. Again, this is, the 5, 6 final words. Be respectful. Loyal and frank. These are fundamental, because when we sit at the table and we need to take a decision, or we want to generate a good new idea to solve a problem or to create something different, we need to respect each other, because people must feel comfortable in saying his real opinion in that moment. Doesn't have to be scared about talking. Be open-minded. So please, I've already said that you will never know where the new good idea will come from. So if you think I'm saying stupid things today, please just do one thing. Don't throw them away today. Think about it, and you throw them away tomorrow. Because it happens that we will meet someone that is just throwing stupid ideas. Well, we may not consider this at the first approach. We need to think about it. We need to have our mind open every day, every day. This is fundamental in business, fundamental nowadays. Ready to challenge and be challenged, even as a boss. Encourage your people to challenge your decision. Then you take the decision. This must be clear. then it is the boss taking the decision. Work on this. Try to create an environment where people feel free to think and say the unthinkable. If they're scared, they're not going to do it. If you have the genius, if you are so lucky you have a genius in your company, and he has a crazy idea, but it may be a fantastic idea, he's not going to tell you if he's scared. The worst thing that can happen, I was used to say to my teammates, please guy, this is a very difficult issue. So if you have a stupid idea, please tell me. I will decide if it's stupid. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is that we make a laugh, we just, go and grab a coffee, this is very stupid, for real. The worst thing for me and for the company and for the team is that I lose the opportunity to get a very important idea, a nice idea. So please speak up. Please speak up. But anyway, to do this, you need to have that kind of environment. Otherwise, people will not talk. Will go in another company, ask for much more money. They will ask. That's why, for example, Google, this is clear in our world. You will never, in Italy, we will never be able to create something like Google. Because people will say, this is a stupid idea. See? Oh, yeah. Look at them. Okay. Now they don't say it's a stupid idea, but during those years, trust me, be proactive. React. Don't stand still. What I was used to say as a corporate risk manager, the bigger risk you can take is taking no risks. That's why a company must be very, very good in managing risks. Because so you can take a lot more risk. So you can move. You don't stand still. That is really dangerous. Now there's a key word, a key behavior, especially when we talk about innovation. This is kind of disruptive, but it works. And it is the only way to really generate and push innovation. So if we are so lucky, we have that genius in our company, he comes out with a good idea, we say, fine, great idea. Now we need to work on that, we need to develop the idea. He needs to have the permission to fail. I would add a risk-managed permission to fail, but he has to have the permission to fail in his process, because he's working on something that is really, really new. So he may fail, he may, find, the right direction after some mistakes. If you don't have this guy will stay safe, will keep safe, will not push. In competition, if the rule says that the wing must be 1 meter, to comply with the regulation, and you are scared, and you don't have that, the wing will be 99 centimeters, but you will not be competitive. In another team, with the permission to fail, the wing will be 1 meter, and maybe, So the risk is not to comply with the regulation, but the good point is that if you go through, you are competitive, and you win the race. And now we got to the last word. The one I really would like you to remember. So you think at Massimo, and you remember the next word, the only one, please. Massimo, this word. That will really help you. That will really help you. That has been my success. Always. Always. Ready? Humility. Being arrogant and thinking that you are the best, your product is the best, is very dangerous. Being humble will make you think with an open mind, will make you be ready. You will be ready to react. You will be, careful and you will pay attention to what is happening in the world. The fact that you're doing well because you have the good idea now doesn't mean that in the next future, a new guy with a new brand idea will come and overtake you and destroy you. This is fundamental to create trust. This is fundamental to be ready. This is fundamental in life, in our relationship. There's no one of us that is more than another single person in this class. We are equal as far as human beings. This is fundamental. When you deal with life, it doesn't matter, the rankings. It doesn't matter the role. People will just say, no, boss, I'm not going to do it. I don't care if you are the boss, because that's my life. So humility, in my opinion, is one of the secrets of looking forward, being capable to manage and face disruption moment, and generate your own disruption, your own disruptive idea and technologies. Okay? So I leave you with this. This is the innovation of Frecce. Of course, the Frecce Tricolori, the goal of the innovation in Frecce is just to make the flight safer. So we were pushing on finding out something that would make the display safer and safer every day. But in 2006, I managed to create this maneuver. This is innovation. It hasn't been easy because it's a long process, very dangerous process. So all the things I've been saying and I told you were put into practice to achieve this goal. And this is my art for you. I wish you all the best. Thank you, guys.